Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. I wanted to do an update on the ongoing crisis between the Russian Federation and Ukraine. So, apparently, today, the senior leadership within the U.S. military, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, has conducted outreach. They've called via the proverbial hotline, the red phone, directly to the Kremlin, the general staff of the Russian military, and it is very apparent the U.S. military, NATO, is now incredibly concerned about activities by the Russian Federation and its ongoing buildup of forces around Ukraine. Again, fairly unique situation where we've seen basically the entire this unit right here, the 41st Army, which consists of the 90th Tank Division. This unit is a large unit in that it has three tank regiments and one mechanized regiment. So normally you would have two tank regiments and one mechanized regiment in a traditional Russian / Soviet tank division. Again, the Fourth Armored Division, based near Moscow, is built like that. Again, two armored regiments, one mechanized regiment. The 90th contains three tank regiments, an independent reconnaissance regiment, an artillery regiment, and a mechanized motorized infantry regiment. We've also seen an Iskander unit, the 119th Missile Brigade, associated with the 41st Army, Combined Arms Army, located in central Russia, also be transferred west, as are the associated motorized infantry brigades. Probably the only unit that may not have been transferred west towards the Belarusian Ukraine border would have been the 55th Mechanized Brigade Mountain, which is more or less a light infantry unit. But again, significant component of the 41st Army has been transferred to the west, and again, we're seeing what looks to be preparations for a fairly significant operation that could take place inside of Ukraine. But again, there is tremendous unease within senior leaderships of both NATO and the U.S. military, who are watching what is going on in terms of the large-scale movement of Russian forces. Now, with that being said, we have seen this before. We have seen this time and time again, where Russia has built up forces along the border of Ukraine. Post 2014, after the seizure of the Crimea, we have continued to see almost yearly buildups and significant training exercises with the Russian Federation. Now, again, the difference is this activity seems to be being conducted with a certain element of clandestine activity. A lot of the moves are happening at night, out of the view of social media personnel recording said events. Be it as it may, it's still being recorded and observed. And then obviously, U.S. satellites are tracking many of these troop movements as well, as we were seeing the motor pools being cleared out, such as units with the 41st Combined Arms Army. Again, very significant. It's situated between Mongolia and Kazakhstan, and these units, at least elements of the 90th Tank Division, some of the motorized rifle regiments, with the exception of the military base located in Tajikistan, we're definitely not seeing any of those units being moved. But other components within the 41st Army are obviously being moved. We also have to look at the Russian airborne forces. Obviously, they can move very, very quickly, which with much less notification to move forces to the border of the Ukraine, and then obviously significant amounts of Spetsnaz forces that could be rapidly moved into the region as well. But again, there is a great concern that a possible operation by the Russian Federation within the next few weeks or month or two could actually occur. And again, it would appear that the White House, the Biden administration, is going to inject more arms to the Ukrainians, quite possibly Stinger surface-to-air missile systems, and then obviously we've heard reports that U.S. Special Forces will also be on the ground if and when the Russians launch said operation. Again, the issue going on with the Ukraine and the expansion of NATO. If you look at it from the Russian side of this equation, it is obviously very concerning for the Russians in terms of what has happened with NATO expansion, and then obviously the admittance of Ukraine into NATO and or the introduction of NATO or U.S. forces in terms of combat battalions, combat brigades, would be a red line for the Russian Federation. And again, if you go back during the Cold War, the idea that U.S. forces would be in the Ukraine would be something that would just have been unheard of. If you lived through the Cold War, you would know that even suggesting that during the Cold War would be something simply absurd and abstract. But here we are, and it's real, and it's a significant concern, enough so that we could see Russia take action. That's the report. That's what's occurring. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on. It could become a very, very messy situation. Have a good day, everybody.